Hey friends, what is up? It's my first time using that countdown feature, so I hope that looked okay or worked. I don't know. Um, so we've got Shaheem in the house. Hey Shaheem, so good to see you again. Yes, this is my second live of the week. I did one on Friday on Sledgehammer Horror's channel. It was actually Ashley Sledge's first ever live that she did solo, and she did amazing. If you guys aren't familiar with Sledgehammer Horror, please check them out. We counted down our top 10 final guys, and it was a panel of amazing content creators. It was awesome. So if you missed that, go over to Sledgehammer Horror's channel and check it out on the replay because it was super fun to do. Hey Danny, how are you? Thanks to me, I've been watching a lot of classics on Tubi. That's amazing. I'm so glad that you found that through my channel. I haven't been watching much on Tubi lately. I really need to check out and see what else they've got on there, but their selection is amazing. Like, I sometimes I can't believe the kind of movies they have on there. Like, I think they had Martyrs for a while. I don't know if it's still on there, but I was just like, oh my gosh, they have this on Tubi for free. That's so cool. And hey, Dee, how are you doing? Aw, thanks, Dee. Dee says, smash that like button. That would be much appreciated. And Gavin's here too. Hey, Gavin. How's it going? Oh, we got Crazy Ralph in the building too. What's up? Yeah, so today we're just doing super relaxed, super chill, just gonna chat. I really don't have anything planned. For those who follow my channel, I've mentioned that I started a new job, so I have really no idea what my schedule is, and I really want to get that locked in soon so that I can start doing more consistent live streams. But for now, I'm just not sure when exactly I'm going to be able to do them. So I had today free, and I was like, well, I'll just do kind of an impromptu, just hang out and chat or whatever. So that's what today is going to be about. Thank you, Shaheem. This is Creeporama, I believe, and it's, of course, My Bloody Valentine. I absolutely love all the sleeves, have designs on them. This one says, if I can get it, the title. Yes, I love this shirt so much. It's so comfy too. I need to get some more horror long sleeve tees because they're kind of my favorite thing right now, but I only have two. So hello, Matt the Beard Man. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. Shaheem says my shirt has Wanda Maximoff / Scarlet Witch vibe colors to it. Yes. I've really only seen images of her. I really don't follow Marvel. I'm so behind on the movies that at this point I have no idea what's going on. But I think I'd like to watch WandaVision to check it out. I've heard it's really good. So yeah, maybe one day I'll check that out. What's up, Pig Boss? How are you doing today? Good to see you here. Yeah, Dee says, still never seen that shirt. Only listen to the band. Yeah, it's funny when you search My Bloody Valentine, it's like usually just stuff from the band that pops up first, and you have to kind of like weed your way to the movie stuff. But yeah, thank you, Shaheem. Thank you so much. Oh, that's so sweet. Yes, so it's gonna be part-time, and I'm hoping I'll have enough time to still do YouTube stuff, probably not at the rate that I was. It does make me really sad because I still want to spend a lot of time doing this, but for now, I'm gonna have to pare back just a little bit. So I might not be pumping out as much stuff as I normally do, but I'm really, really gonna try to keep to at least a video a week, or at least a live stream a week too. So we'll have to see about that. But hey, Mika, how are you? What's up? Mika was on the panel for counting down our top 10 favorite final guys as well. She had a great list. So yeah, today, again, for those who are just joining, just gonna be really chill. I would love to know what everybody's been watching. We had a little bit of discussion about the Firestarter remake on the live stream on Sledgehammer Horror's video, but I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen the original either, and I've heard really bad things about it. So if anyone's seen it, let me know what you think. But yeah. Oh, am I buffering? D, something going on. Um, so also, if you guys see my little sign back here, for those who also watch my videos, you know that I used to have Randy's rules on this sign, rules for horror movies, and it fell over as I was setting up for a video. So, knocked off all the words. And I'm struggling with figuring out what to put on there. So if you can think of a caption that I should put on this sign, comment it and let me know, and I'll see, depending on how long it is, I'll see if I can fit it. But yeah, I'd love some ideas for that because I really can't think of what to put on there. Um, Thank you, Mika. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was super duper fun, that live stream. Dee watched Firestarter last weekend and you weren't a fan. That's what I've been getting. I think it only has, maybe one. It's less than 2 stars for sure on Letterboxd. It might even be closer to 1.5. So I don't know. I don't think I'll be seeing that one in theaters, but maybe I'll watch it on streaming when it comes on streaming. But we'll have to see. You didn't know anything about the film going in, though. Maybe that's why. Yeah. But I feel like it should be able to sustain its own audience without having everybody who is in the theater, knowing the backstory and knowing the original movie. So kind of sounds like it was the fault of the filmmakers. But yeah, Mika still hasn't seen it either. Planning on checking it out later today. Oh, cool. Okay. I'd love to know what you think about it after you see it. Yeah, Gavin, that's what I've been hearing. It's just kind of boring, which, it's kind of the cardinal sin of movie making is if it's going to be bad, at least make it entertaining and not just a snooze fest. So yeah, that's unfortunate. Um, Shaheem says, very much understand that incredible, tough creative balance of content creating a normal, regular life on a daily basis for your mental health. Yeah, that's what I've been struggling with lately. It really is a balance. It is a juggling act. It is just finding the time to do the things that you really like in your spare time. If you have the luxury of having spare time, I know a lot of people don't. And then obviously doing what you need to survive and all of that kind of stuff, paying the bills and everything. And even just having time to relax. It's really hard, especially when you're someone who, like, I don't know, content creator sounds really pretentious, but, where you're trying to keep up with a bunch of different social media and stuff like that, it can be really hard because you always are looking at your phone and you just need to be like, take a minute, don't do anything, don't be thinking about your next video idea, or editing a picture for Instagram. Just chill, relax, and take some time to breathe. So I have to tell myself that a lot because I tend to not do that. But Matt says, I don't get a chance to watch many recently released movies, but I finally watched X yesterday. Ooh, did you like it? Oh my gosh, I loved it. I thought about doing a full review on it, and I still might. I think I'm gonna wait until I get it on Blu-ray. I think that comes out in the next couple of days, actually. So hopefully I'll be heading over to Target and picking up the X Blu-ray. So yeah, I'll think about doing one. It does seem like I'm kind of behind on that now. Most people put out their reviews like when it came out, but I liked it enough that I would like to do one still. But hey, King Denny, how are you? Uh, yay! I know that's the hard thing is like, I always feel bad because I had someone message me earlier today and they said, oh, it'll be like 5 a.m. Australian time. And I was like, I'm so sorry, the time changes. That's one thing. And then, of course, everybody has different schedules. So, but so glad that you could join this one. Oh, Mika, you watched the original earlier. Had you seen it before, or was that your first viewing of it? Because I know a lot of people watched it growing up, but I never did. I never saw it. Um, Gavin says, "What a gabagool wants." Oh my gosh, that's a inside joke to the last live I did, where I was talking about watching The Sopranos. And ooh, D with the caption idea. Yo, what's up, y'all? Let's just jump right into it. But first, smash that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. Share with friends. Support the Patreon. Yeah, you know what? That's such a mouthful that might as well just have it up on a sign so you don't have to say it every video. That's a good idea. Crazy Ralph just watched the remake of The Fog, and now you're sad. Oh no. I haven't seen that one. I don't Well, that might be one that I saw forever ago and have kind of just forgotten about it. Um, you know what? Actually, I think I confuse it with The Mist. I think that's the one I'm thinking of. Because there was a remake, or is The Mist a remake or not? Or is it just a standalone movie? I always confuse them because obviously Fog and Mist sound really similar. So uh, yeah, continued. Get merch, follow Insta, Pinterest. Oh my gosh, yeah. That's all in the description. So if anyone's curious about that, I promise I will not berate you every 5 seconds to do all of that stuff. But um, Shaheem recently watched Multiverse of Madness, which was amazing. Cool. Yes, MCU, Marvel Universe is too much to worry about, but don't bother catching up. Yeah, it's time consuming. You saw Firestarter and nope. um, yeah. Oh wait, do you mean Nope the movie, or are you saying Nope to Firestarter? Because is Nope out yet? I feel like it's not out yet, but I could be wrong about that. Um, Matt absolutely loved it. Awesome. Um, Gary, hello. How are you? You were in Fear of the Walking Dead as like an actor? Is that what you mean? Hey, Gano, how are you? What's up? What's up? Screen Fun, hi. Alrighty. Gavin is still jealous of my Wishboard VHS. Oh, you bought it on Blu-ray. Very cool. Who puts that out? What company puts that out? I would love to see some like behind the scenes and stuff for Witchboard. Be super fun to watch. Um, Mika had seen the original Firestarter before, but needed a refresher. Okay, as it had been a while. Yeah. So yeah, I wonder for those who watch both the original and the remake back to back, if there's a noticeable difference, or if there are any major plot points that are different. Because I truly have no idea. The only thing I know about the movie is there's a little girl and she can start fires with her mind. I guess that is all I know about it. So. Gano asked if I had seen Stranger Things. Yeah. You finally watched the whole series this past week and loved it. Awesome. That's a really good idea to do it right before season 4 comes out, because the breaks between seasons are so long that it's just like, wait, what happened again in the last one? Yeah, so for season 4, I am very excited for that too. I think they actually Netflix has done like little recap videos that they probably put here on YouTube, where you can just do a little recap of the seasons, and so you don't have to watch them all the way through. If you need a refresher on some of the plot points and stuff, which I should probably do that before we start season 4. But yeah. Gavin says the Fog remake is atrocious. Oh no. Might have to skip that one too. D, I'm not sure. Generally, I aim for around 2 hours. We'll see. Usually around 5 is when I've got to hop off. But yeah, I think we're just going to kind of feel it out and see if people want to stay on and keep talking, then I'll stay on. But yeah, probably around that 2 hour mark is when I'll have to hop off if we're still going. But I've been trying to keep up with Joe Bob. I've been falling. Oh yeah, because of work. Missed the Sledgehammer stream Friday. You fell asleep. Oh no, because you were so tired. That's totally okay though. I mean, we obviously understand, and hope you get some good rest so you don't have to do impromptu evening naps. I know those are really disorienting, because then you wake up and you're like, oh my god, what time is it? Okay, thank you. Podcast in the Woods. Nope, comes out in August. I was gonna say I should probably know that, but I don't know why I couldn't remember the release date for that. Do you will have to binge Joe Bob at some point this summer? Yeah. That's another one that I gotta carve out time if I'm gonna start that too. It's so many things happening all at once, I think, because it's like all these movies are coming out, and we've got Stranger Things going on, and I'm still watching The Sopranos. So I'm gonna try to get through that at a decent pace, because again, that's another one where I feel like you've got a lot of different plot lines and stuff that you're trying to follow. So taking a big break in between episodes or seasons for that wouldn't be a good idea for me, because then I forget what's going on. I'd be like, who's that guy? What's he doing again? I don't remember. Okay, thank you, Shahim. You're saying nope, as in you did not like it. Yeah, that seems to be the general consensus overall about Firestarter. You also have been watching the newest seasons of The Simpsons. Oh, and Always Sunny. Is that one for Sunny? Is that the one that's shortened where they're in Ireland? Is that the newest season? Because I'm caught up through that season, but I wasn't sure if they had done another one because they are like seriously the longest running sitcom ever. It's crazy. But what's also crazy is I have never watched The Simpsons. That is a really big cultural touchstone that I have just never gotten into for some reason. Um, and I really, really should watch some videos. I guess I have seen like at least one of the Halloween, what do they call them? Like the treehouse things. I think we watched that in school for some reason. So yeah, I saw at least one episode, but yeah, I really haven't watched The Simpsons at all. I know that's kind of crazy. Um, Gavin asked, where did it go? Oh, maybe not. JK. Mohammed asked, what is my favorite Stephen King film adaptation? So I will say I have only read I read Children of the Corn. Is that the only one? I think I tried to read Needful Things and I never got through it. So my basis of knowledge for Stephen King is solely the films. So based on just the films and not how they relate to like the books, I would say either The Shining or Carrie. Those two up there for me, I would say. Hey, Cena Arcadia, how are you doing? You saw the original Firestarter, but barely remember it. Yeah, see, that was one I just never watched for some reason. Gano, yeah, I had not seen any of the show until this week, and I can't believe I haven't because I love the 80s. Yeah, it has great 80s vibes for sure. Stranger Things. And you just get like when you see the title card go up, it's just like, oh, it's so nostalgic and so good. I'm very interested to see where they go with this season. But Podcast in the Woods saw Men. Don't want to say anything about it and spoil it. Yeah. But you really liked it. Awesome. Not in your top 5 A24 movies, but still dug the vibe. Okay, cool. Really funny story. So, also speaking of sledgehammer horror, the first time that I met him and Ashley, we went to see in person. We went to see X in theaters, and we had some trailers at the beginning, and we saw the trailer for Men, and it pops up. The title card goes Men, and then underneath it says coming soon. And some lady in the theater just goes, "What else is new?" Just like, oh my God, that's hilarious. Um, oh no. Sorry, the chat function on StreamYard is so silly because it will like go straight to the bottom. I have to go back to see where I left off. Okay, here we go. Shaheem hasn't watched both Firestarter films back to back, but did recognize several differences in plot and acting wise. Okay. But overall, just found the original movie more than the remake. Yeah. Yeah, it seems to be just so hit or miss with remakes. Yeah. Gavin says, I have to feed Poo Poo at 5. Yes, I do. That is the cutoff time because Puka needs her her dinner. For those who don't know, Puka's my dog. And 5 o'clock on the dot, she'll be staring at me, being like, I'm starving. I need to be fed. Mika definitely has to rewatch the last season of Stranger Things as a refresher. Yeah. Yeah. I wish I had the time to go through all 3 seasons, honestly, because I would just love to rewatch them again. But I won't have time to do that before the new season comes out. So I think I'm just gonna watch those recap videos. But Screen Fun got in an argument on Twitter with people who want the Sydney team to remain in the franchise, while I argued it's time to focus on the new cast. For Scream 6, yeah, I think what would probably be a good idea, and this is just complete speculation on my part, is we have very, very little, basically like cameo level, where we see Gail and Sydney at some point, but where they're not a big part of the plot. I think that would be good because you would satisfy the people that still want to see them in the franchise. And it would be nice to just be able to say, like, oh, Nev Campbell is in every single movie and Courtney Cox is in every single movie. But as far as focusing on them, I think the problem with Scream 5, Scream 2022, that a lot of people were complaining about being like, oh, the new cast, I didn't really care about them, whatever. So in the original Scream, we are not splitting focus between legacy characters and the new people. We're just focusing on this one group of kids. So when you have a movie where you have to split that attention, of course we're not going to have as much time to dedicate to the new cast. And so I think people were complaining about that, but I was like, I think they're doing the best they can with giving you the new cast and the legacy cast and, focusing on all these different plot points. So I did not have a problem with that. But in Scream 6, it would be nice to see, I agree, nice to see focus on the new cast. And, I'm sure people have seen this now. So I hope this isn't spoiling anything for those who don't want to know anything about Scream 6. So if you haven't heard this news about Scream 6, plug your ears for a second. But, the fact that Kirby's coming back, I think they'll have to focus on that, unless she's the cold open kill. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, but if she is, an integral character, they need to spend more time on her as well. So I think splitting between her and Sydney and Gale and the new cast would just be a little bit too much. So those are my thoughts on Scream 6, but we'll have to see. Podcast in the Woods. It's Boomer, by the way. That may be easier. Oh, yeah. Good to know. Okay. Thank you, Boomer. Pig Boss just got a stack of tapes in the mail. Hey. Born Innocent, Fair Game, Hell Hunters, Pinocchio's Revenge, Warning Sign, and Witchery. Awesome. I have only gotten, the only VHS I've gotten lately is Hannibal. Everything else has been DVDs. I can't find VHS tapes like anywhere at thrift stores right now. I don't know what's going on. There's like a shortage in thrift stores. I need someone to just donate their whole collection already and, let me buy it up from them. But yeah, that's the only new VHS I've gotten so far, but all of those sound really cool. I know Pinocchio's Revenge is supposed to be really goofy, right? I haven't seen it, but actually I think I haven't seen any of those. Speaking of which, I'm Tom. Okay, cool. Boomer, Podcast in the Woods, Tom, Scene Arcade. Got it. Thank you. Gano says 90s Simpson episodes are the best. Simpsons isn't a show that makes you laugh super hard. It's more clever humor. It's just more entertaining and chill to watch. Yeah. I really like, a lot of the projects that people who worked on The Simpsons have gone on to do, like The Office and stuff like that. I love those shows. So I'm sure I would really like, The Simpsons if I watched it. It's just for some reason I never did. Yeah, my parents were never really into it or anything like that. So it just wasn't on the TV. Yeah. Hello. Oh. You're rewatching Better Call Saul. Okay. I have seen Breaking Bad, but I never went on to watch Better Call Saul, but I've heard it is really good. Shaheem says Family Guy is in serious competition with The Simpsons season-wise. I think Family Guy is a lot more popular, but both shows definitely have their individual fans. Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely seen episodes of Family Guy before, and those can be hit or miss for me. I have to be in the right mood to watch them, but some of their bits can be really, really funny too. King Denny can't wait for Salem's Lot remake in September. Oh, okay. We're getting so many, it's so hard to keep track of. So I think this is the first I'm hearing that. And that's, again, another one I haven't seen yet. But yeah, there's a lot of Stephen King adaptations that I just haven't seen. And some of them that are at the top of my list that I really want to watch are Silver Bullet, because I've heard that one's really fun. And I'm trying to think. I know this isn't really an adaptation, but Creepshow is also on my list of Stephen King properties that I need to watch. Mika says, hope you see Men this week. So much content on my watch list. Seems like it's never enough time. I know, seriously. I just have so many things where it's like running in my head, like, okay, I got to see this. I got to see this. I got to see this. And then whenever I go to watch something, it's like something completely different that wasn't on my list to watch. It's just like, I got to start checking these things off because I keep saying I have to watch these. But yeah, there's just so little time. Loved picking out the different 80s references in Stranger Things. Like season 1 has an ET homage. The title sequence is definitely Terminator. Season 3 has Die Hard references. So much fun. Yeah. It's like the creators of that show just really knew what they were doing, and it just hit at such the right time. I was actually Elle for Halloween. It was like the first year, the first season came out, and everybody was doing Stranger Things costumes, but I was like, I have to. It's so good. So it was, like the pink dress, and I had a blonde wig and a box of Eggos. Super fun. D says it's so cool. Y'all get to hang out IRL. Yeah, it was really fun. Because they were in town for Horror Hounds in Cincinnati, and I have some family up there. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go and visit. And I really wanted to go to Horror Hound, but I was like, I just don't have enough money right now to go to a whole convention. So they hadn't seen X yet, and I hadn't seen X. Like, let's just meet up at a movie theater and we'll watch this movie. So it's kind of a funny movie to watch for the first when you're like hanging out with someone for the first time, because as you guys know, the type of movie it is, and they're like, they're shooting a porno. So some of the scenes, it's like, oh, it's a little awkward to watch with someone that you have never met. But I mean, they're super cool and genuinely like the nicest people. Everything you see online, it's totally they're being absolutely their true selves. So they are awesome. We should have a convention for horror YouTubers. We totally should. That would be amazing, actually. I wonder if there's anything like that might exist. I have a feeling since they started doing all these conventions virtually because of COVID, that seems like something that could happen virtually. But I mean, it would be really fun to go in person too. I've actually never been to a horror convention before, and I really, really want to go to one. But I know I have to have enough money because I'm going to be wanting to spend on everything I see at a horror convention. So hopefully one day. Ooh, okay. Boomer says X is in their top 5. Amazing. Love that. Honestly, my favorite of the year so far, I would say Fresh was up there as well. I really liked Fresh, but yeah, X is just something special. Shaheem says the lady in the theater needs a standing ovation for shouting that out. I know, right? I was just like, oh my gosh. There are some people where it's like they just have no shame, and if they think something's funny, they're like, I'm gonna tell this whole movie theater. And you know what? It was funny. Another memory I have of something like that happening in the movie theater was I went to see the Carrie remake when it first came out, so like 2013, and it's towards the end where Carrie's going on her rampage, and there's the part where she like blows up the gas station, and these two people behind me, they were like, one of them was like, "Is that gas?" And their friend went, "It's a gas station." Just like so deadpan, like, duh, yeah, yes it is. And I had to stifle my laughter. Ty West, I meant, oh. I'm gonna kill autocorrect. Yeah, sometimes autocorrect can be so frustrating. It's like, that's not helpful. Um, Gavin says if they kill off Sydney, I will riot. They can take focus off them, but don't kill her. Yeah. I do think that it would kind of feel like a disservice to the character if they killed her off. I would understand why they would do it, but again, yeah, I agree. I don't think I would like to see that. Of course, most people wouldn't want to see Sydney killed. Like, she's one of the most iconic final girls of all time, and it'd be so sad to see her go. But um, it makes sense that Sydney and Gale are starting to be put in the background because it doesn't make sense to keep coming or continuing the same formula on the same characters after Sid and Gale have been through. Yeah, just let them live their lives now. They've been through enough. They have enough trauma. Just let Sydney be a mom, and I'm sure she's got a job. And let Gale do her, news host thing. Just let them be. And Gavin says they should get James and Chelsea back for kills. Yeah, that would be amazing. Maybe they're in talks already. I don't know. I'm sure they have to keep that under wraps until the movie comes out. But honestly, it would be so amazing. I don't know, for those who follow Dead Meat. So I usually just listen to the podcast, but I watched some of the videos too. And I know Chelsea started doing kill counts, which I personally thought she was doing a great job. And then I look in the comments and there are so many people that are like shitting on her and saying that she doesn't do it good. And I was like, what are you guys talking about? Just because James is taking off like a couple of kill counts, you guys get so mad about it? Like, come on. Chelsea does a great job. Screen Fun says, I live in France. I remember in the 2000s, I used to buy full boxes of VHS for €5 for the whole box. Now they have become very expensive. Yeah. because people understood that they're collectors like us. Yeah, they definitely take advantage of that. And some people, the way that they try to sell tapes on eBay, tapes that are definitely not worth what they're trying to go for, and they're just kind of trying to manipulate, the people that are collectors and might not know better. Like they might not be aware that that tape actually isn't worth that much. And I know pricing is subjective and all that. I mean, you can price anything at any amount that you want, but at the same time, it's like, you know, be fair about it, especially for people who are doing it out of the love of collecting and they just want to own these tapes, but they're just so dang expensive. The Simpsons and Friends were the two shows I remember watching as a baby in the minks of the struggle of growing up without much cable and yeah, talking 2000s. Yeah, I love Friends too. It's another great show. I did watch that a little bit more growing up because it would just always be on like I forget what station it was. They would always play reruns and it would be like on after I got home from school and everything. So definitely love Friends. It's not out yet, but I saw Dario Argento's new movie and it was such a letdown. Oh no. Yeah. I don't really know. I haven't watched his newer stuff and I have heard that a lot of that stuff is just not up to par with his older films. So yeah, I don't know. I would definitely give it a shot. I really haven't seen anything past the 80s, I don't think. Not that I can think of, but it is unfortunate. Oh, Dario. I mean, he's pretty old now. I don't know exactly how old he is, but he's getting up there for sure. Ooh, D asked what's my fave Halloween costume I've ever done. Um, Let me think. So I the one that I really, really love and is maybe the most memorable, I did a full so if you've seen Mean Girls, you know the burn book, right? So I replicated the burn book with this giant piece of cardboard. So I like did the whole front. It looks like the cover and everything. When you open it up, it's got the images and the writing inside. And then on one side, you've got Regina George's picture. But so I printed out a blown up picture of Regina George, but I cut the face out. So I would put my face where Regina George's face is supposed to be, and then you could open up the burn book and I would be inside of it. It's kind of hard to describe, but yeah, I made that one completely from scratch. So I would say that's probably my favorite Halloween costume I've ever done. Yes, I agree, Gavin. Ken and Ashley are the best. They're awesome. Dee's never been to a horror con either. Ooh, you want to go this summer? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if there are any happening around me this summer. I'll have to look and see because I really, really want to go. But I can't decide if I would want to get signatures from people or maybe for my first one I would just kind of go to experience it because I mean I think you have to wait in line a long time for those kinds of things. But yeah, but it also obviously would be really cool to meet some of these actors and these people that I've been looking up to for so long. But um, Tom says there's an event where YouTubers box each other. Oh, maybe there could be like WrestleMania, but horror YouTubers. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I would have to sit that one out because I think that I would not do very well boxing, but that sounds super interesting. Hey, Mega Movies, how's it going? How are you doing today? Meek says X and Fresh have been some of your faves of this year. Yeah, me too. I love to see some original concepts in horror in terms of storytelling. Yeah, I agree because they're, on the surface level, they could be considered standard, I would say, where you've got, a cannibal movie basically and then a slasher. But the way that they go about each of those filmmakers individually go about telling the story and the way that they endear us to the characters is very different from like the stereotypical slasher or cannibal movie. So I totally agree. And those are honestly not even just my favorite of the year. They're probably up in my favorite horror movies ever. And that could be recency bias, but I really, really did love them a lot. Mega Movie says, I've never been to a horror convention, but I've met horror actors at Comic Cons. Oh, okay, cool. That's cool that they still go to those too. So you have kind of a variety of different properties and things you're interested in. So that's really neat. Gavin says, when the town was jumping Michael at the end of Halloween Kills, someone in my theater screamed, "Cut his dick off!" Oh my God. That's hilarious. I would have died laughing, honestly. But really, I mean, why not? Sure. Maybe that's the key to killing Michael is to cut his dick off. Uh, Tom says, I saw House of the Dead in the theater, and there was a couple on a date during the makeout scene. The girl yells, "I'm done with this shit," and walks out, leaving the guy. Damn, that's embarrassing. And for you to remember that years later, I'm sure that's like burned into that guy's brain. Oh my gosh. Shaheem says, apparently it sounds like Sherlock Holmes was sitting behind you during Carrie's 2013 remake. Yeah, pointing out the obvious to the other. What could it be? Looks like it's gas. They're at a gas station? What? Dee says, I thought Chelsea did a great job. Didn't know she was getting hate. Yeah, I agree. I was just like, what are you guys even talking about? Just, I think some people have a really, really hard time with change, especially for stuff that you love. I understand if it's like a show you love, a YouTube channel you love, if they're switching stuff up, I get it. If you just like this, what they've got going, but at the same time, you kind of got to go with the flow and don't be mean about it. Like some people can be so mean. Like someone literally commented, it was, this might not be the exact words, but it was literally just like Chelsea bad. Like it's like you put literally no thought into that comment and you were being mean. That's like the worst kind of people who comment on YouTube. Like, come on. Yeah, Shaheem says Chelsea is the best. I agree. Forget about the haters who will hate. Yeah. And that's the thing too. Cause I think someone commented that she got like bullied off of her own channel. So I don't know if that meant that she's like not going to do kill counts anymore. I mean, I'm sure she's still going to do the podcast and everything, but I was just like, really, was it that bad that she's just not going to do this ever again? Cause that's so dumb. Gano says the rarest VHS I have is a Scream one that has a rare blue Drew Barrymore cover. I've seen those because they've got Drew, Courtney, and Neb, I think. It also has NC-17 version. Ooh, I didn't even know they had that. So there are alternate or extended shots for the gore. Oh, okay. I think I do know that they did that for specifically the part where Drew is hanging, and I guess they like lingered too long on her intestines and they were kind of like moving around. And I guess the censors were like, you got to cut that down. There's some weird cuts in it though. Yeah, okay. Maybe I'll have to seek that out, see if I can find that version because I'd like to watch that. Mega Movie says Argento's new movie can't be any worse than his Dracula 3D. Oh no, I haven't seen that one either. But I definitely have heard bad things about it for sure. Hey Xanderland Studios, how are you doing? I'm good. Welcome to the stream. It's not that bad. Oh, yeah. Maybe I'll have to watch that. Is Dracula 3D? Is it a good bad watch? Like, is it fun or is it just plain old bad? Because that definitely makes a difference for me. And Dee says that burn book Stoom is legendary. Thank you. Yeah, I posted it on Instagram really, really long time ago. I can't remember if it's still on there, but yeah. And then one year I was Elle from Stranger Things. So normally me and my husband will do couples costumes. So for our wedding, we got married on Halloween. So we were the Bride of Frankenstein, of course, and Frankenstein's monster. But we've also been Stanley and the whoever Sigourney Weaver plays, I forget her character, in Holes. And then Puka was a little yellow spotted lizard one year. That one was really fun. We were Napoleon Dynamite and Kip one year. Piper and oh wow, I can't remember. Oh my gosh, from Orange is the New Black, Piper and Laura Pepperon's character. I can't remember her name right now, but we were we were them as well. So we've had some really fun couples costumes over the years. Screen Fun is starting to hear about Dark Glasses. Dario's 70s and 80s movies are some of my favorite movies. Is Dark Glasses the new one? I haven't even heard the name of it. Fascinating to me how a director can turn from a genius into a bad director. Same with Carpenter. Yeah, I think a big part of it is just adapting for the times and trying to update your filming style or whatever, and with new technology and just new how audiences change too. So maybe it's something like that where it just doesn't translate into newer movies, like newer styles. So that's really unfortunate. Boomer says, I love these original concepts and that we are getting theatrical releases for them. Yes. But it does make me sad when I go to a new interesting horror film on opening day and I'm the only one. Yeah, that's the thing is it's so it's so tempting to stay at home. And again, if you have to, totally understand that. If you aren't able to go to the theaters, either it's a money thing or a health thing, whatever, totally understand that. But if you can afford to and you are able to get there, it's definitely good to try to support movies like that in the theater so that they can get those box office numbers and make it so we get more movies like that in the theater because yeah, we don't want that to go away and have it just be all these blockbuster type movies. Um, so yeah, I really need to go. I need to go to another one soon. It's been a while since I went to the theater, but Boomer says, "Wow, Marvel still packs house." Yeah, yeah. Oof. It's like every I don't know. I know they're a powerhouse, but it's just like how the hell can they pump out this much content? This is insane. Um, I just want to say about Regina George, the way she got hit by the bus, she should be dead. Yeah. But her anger in that moment made her immortal enough just to be broken up. Otherwise, that film would have been R. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I think she was like so full of rage, like a rage adrenaline, that she was able to survive with just a broken spine. Mean Girls is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's one I can literally watch over and over again. I never get tired of it. It's so funny. Uh, Xanderland says Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is the first Marvel horror movie. Yeah, I mean, I know Sam Raimi directed it, and I know it's got some horror elements, but again, like I said, I don't really know anything about Marvel, so yeah. But I have heard that about it. Caption for my coffin idea: ingredients: ground corn vegetable oil contains. Oh my god, D, you crack me up. Uh, oh, sorry. Gavin says, "That's so sad. Chelsea's so sweet. How could they hate on her?" I know. And sometimes I think it's people either being trolls or being mean just for the sake of being mean. But she's so smart. She knows so much about the genre. Like, I think she's charismatic. For the people who say she wasn't good at the kill counts, I don't know why. She had really good delivery and everything like that. So I don't know. I don't know what their beef is. Um, Dee's still going with her ideas for the board. Wow, did you write all that out or did you copy and paste that, Dee? I need to know. I'm assuming you copy and pasted. Gano says Steve's death has his guts move. Oh, so it was Steve. I'm sorry, not Drew. In Scream. So they had to change the shot for the R version. Okay. NC-17 version is cool, but the problem is Drew hanging shot was way too long. Okay. I'm confusing those two things in my head then. And the audio doesn't match up. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, that's the thing. The damn censors. Sam Raimi needs to make Spider-Man 4. You know what's really funny is my new video coming out, I am going over Drag Me to Hell because I hadn't seen it since I saw it in theaters. So it was one that I didn't think I liked at the time, but it's been, God, 12 years since I saw it. So, or not 12. I can't do math right now, but regardless, so I've been looking into all this stuff about Drag Me to Hell, and I was watching some interviews with Sam Raimi, and it's so funny because they're asking him about upcoming projects, and this was in 2009. And he's like, "Oh yeah, the next movie I'm working on is Spider-Man 4," and it's like, well, that never happened. I wonder what went on behind the scenes for that. Contains milk. I love it, D. It's so funny. Xanderland says Ghostface is my favorite horror villain because he's anonymous. Yeah, very true. I agree. It's something that's so unique to Scream is that Scooby-Doo aspect of not knowing who's underneath the mask, and we don't really get that in many other horror franchises. So yeah, I love that about it. D says that D needs to chill in the chat. Screen Fun says Everything Everywhere All at Once is my fave movie of the year. Have you checked it out? No, I haven't yet. I've heard excellent things about it though. Again, another one. I can't remember if it's still in theaters, but I really, really should watch that one. I've heard it's like kind of like it tags tugs at your heartstrings. So yeah, I'll definitely be checking that out regardless, but I have heard it's one that's really good to watch in theaters because it's so cinematic and there's so much going on screen. So yeah, I promise I'll watch that one eventually. Yes, Gavin, I want to know too what those ingredients are for. I need to know. Gano says my theory is that new original ideas just don't pique anyone's interest anymore. Yeah, so the big blockbuster movies nowadays are either sequels, remakes, or something based around nostalgia. Yeah, they need to have something that pre-existing that can kind of pull people in, which is really sad because it's like these movies that we love, these franchises and properties that we love, at one point they were new. So we're not going to get anything like that if we don't make new movies. We need to still be supporting you know, these first time ideas and stuff like that. Sanderland says we need Spider-Man 4 to close out the Raimi era. Yeah, I guess we'll see about that. D says I wrote it out, but read them off the snacks in front of me. Oh my gosh. You must have really good typing skills, D. The snacks are generic chili cheese Fritos. Okay. It would have been fun to guess what it was just based on the ingredients, but Mika says, yes, we have to support these smaller releases in theaters. Amen. The success of films like Everything Everywhere All at Once is proof that type of support, with that type of support, can do for smaller budget films. Yeah, I agree. And that's the thing is we want to encourage these new ideas. And sad as it is, it comes down to money. It comes down to how much money this movie is making in theaters. So that's, you know, the best way to ensure that we're still getting new stuff like that. Oh, Gavin says, Happy World Goth Day. I did not know that that was a thing, but yeah. Happy World Goth Day, everybody. Screen Fun says Mean Girls is my second favorite high school movie. I have a slight preference for The Duff. Okay, I never saw that one. Yeah, gosh, I saw Mean Girls a little bit later than most people because it came out when I was like 11. And I remember at the time I was like, I'm not allowed to watch this. This is for teenagers. I'm not old enough to watch this movie. And then I eventually saw it, I think in either middle school or high school. I don't know. But I loved it ever since, of course. Dee says my letterbox reviews usually crack me up. Oh, good. I'm glad. Sometimes I'm like, is this something that only I will find funny, or are other people going to get what I'm going for here? So it's good. It's good to know that someone does. So I appreciate that, Dee. Sometimes it takes me forever to come up with them too. I'm just like, what should I say? Boomer didn't care for Drag Me to Hell. Too many jump scares, and I thought the characters were too dumb. Yeah, the thing that got me, from what I remembered from watching it, the only thing that I took away from that movie at the time was how gross it was. I was so grossed out by all of the mouth stuff going on. For those who've seen it, there's a lot of stuff going into people's mouths, coming out, being shoved in, vomit, like that kind of stuff. And I was not having it at the time. But I mean, if you guys want to watch my video, I'm going to really try to finish it today. Hopefully it'll be posted tomorrow. We'll see. But I'm calling the series Redemption Rewatch, and it's going to be where I revisit a movie that I haven't seen in forever, a movie that I did not like on my first viewing, and Drag Me to Hell is the first one I'm doing. So yeah, on a rewatch, I did like it better because I just didn't know who Sam Raimi was when I first saw it. I saw it in high school, and I had no idea what The Evil Dead was. I didn't know the kind of like horror comedy that Sam Raimi does. So I really didn't like it when I saw it in theaters. But my views have changed on it slightly. So check that video out when I drop it to know exactly what I think about it. Shaheen says, just be blessed we haven't gotten the bots around yet. Ooh, yeah. You know what? That's funny that you say that because I was literally trying to Google, I was like, how to prevent bots from entering live chat, and I didn't really find anything helpful. So yeah, I really hope, I'm knocking on wood, that we don't get any, but we'll see. Oh, sorry. Boomer says Everything Everywhere All at Once is a masterpiece. It seems to be most everybody thinks it's really, really good. So I promise I will watch that one, guys. Gano says, I remember in 2009 watching all these fake trailers for Spider-Man 4 on YouTube. They would have footage from other monster movies to make it seem like the new villain is a lizard. Oh my gosh. Which is kind of funny because I guess the next Spider-Man we got was The Amazing Spider-Man, right? Um, and that did have a lizard as the villain. That was one that I did actually watch and I did like, but I know a lot of people don't like it because they think that Andrew Garfield is like too cool to be Peter Parker. But like I said, I'm not a big superhero movie person. So I liked it when I saw it, but I was probably in high school when I saw it. So Tom says, should I watch Men or Everything Everywhere All at Once in theaters? Ooh, yes. People have seen both of those. Let Tom know. Shaheem says right now the Happy Death Day films have potential to carry on into an ongoing slasher franchise like Friday the 13th, Halloween, but it's all about success, money, and the films are treated smarter. Yeah. We will see if that happens. I mean, I really don't know. I haven't looked into if there are any plans to continue that. But we talked about it before, doing a crossover between Happy Death Day and Freaky, which would be really fun. I would love to see that, honestly, because it's the same creators, right? It's either the same writers or I don't know if it's the same director or not, but Tom says I didn't know it was National Goth Day, so I'll have to play something appropriate. I know that Gavin would suggest watching The Crow. As far as other, are there any other gothy? I know The Crow's not really horror, but any gothy horror movies you can think of? I would love to know that. Gano says there was also another fake trailer I remember where they put a red filter over Venom to make it seem like Carnage would be in Spider-Man 4. Oh my gosh. I'm sure if you looked at those now, they would look so obviously fake, but I feel like nowadays people have gotten so good at editing and the stuff that you could find on YouTube like that would be like fake trailers would be kind of convincing and be like, wait, is this really a trailer? Is it? Gavin says, I'm sure the bots will make an appearance with their hot babes soon. Yes, promises of hot babes and dates. Screen Fun says, would you consider doing horror news videos? I can't find a lot of creators who do so. Sarah Hawkinson did it for time to time, but that's all. I don't have plans for that, but I would definitely suggest Movie Watch Daily on YouTube. Justin, he is amazing. He just started I think he's calling it like news roundup or weekly. I can't remember exactly, but he posted one recently where I think he's doing it weekly. He'll do like a horror news roundup. So please check him out. Again, that's Movie Watch Daily. So yeah, he is such a good creator. He's so in depth and he really tries to stay up to date on stuff. So check him out for that for sure. Gavin says, I hope they're making more Creep movies. The first two are awesome. I still need to see 2, but I have a feeling I'm really going to like it. So I'm excited to watch that one. But again, I agree. I think if they can get Mark Duplass on board, or I don't know if there would be a way to have someone else enter into the franchise as the villain. I don't know if in 2 they have Peach Fuzz involved. I'm assuming they do. But so if you could have Peach Fuzz, I think that'd be cool, even if you couldn't have Mark Duplass. But yeah, I can't remember what year Creep 2 came out, but it's been a while since then. So I don't know if there are any plans to do a new one, but you should see both. They are both worth watching. But if you absolutely had to choose Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Men is incredibly interesting. Good to know. Tom says the girl in Mirror Mirror is super goth. Okay, nice. I haven't seen that one either. Shaim says definitely a Happy Death Day 3 and Freaky Death Day are definitely the best ways of putting an end to both Blumhouse individual films. Yeah, put them together, have a little combo. Ooh, Gavin, yes, Night of the Demons has Angela in it, and she's the goth queen. Yes. Plus, they have a Bauhaus bop. That is very true. That's a great suggestion. And Peach Fuzz is an icon. I love Peach Fuzz. I love this little song. So fun. and also terrifying at the same time. I always lament when I don't see any Peach Fuzz like cosplays or anything like that around Halloween. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I will be the female version of Mark Duplass for Halloween this year. I actually don't have any plans for Halloween costumes, which is funny because I usually start planning like months in advance on what I want to do, and I haven't really thought about it at all. So I definitely have to figure that out. But I mean, at least this year we'll be able to do like real Halloween parties and stuff. I'm assuming, hopefully, hopefully nothing happens between now and then. But Dino says, does the craft have goth vibes? Yeah, I haven't seen it. Not gonna lie, is it good? I would say it does. I mean, I think that you could probably say that the character Nancy is pretty goth. But so my problem with the craft is I do really like it, but there is a certain like shift that happens in the movie where it goes from it being about like female friendship and everything like that, and then it completely flips in the middle, and it's actually the girls will be out to get you, and you'll have to fight the people you thought were your friends. It just didn't really make sense for me personally, that kind of a shift, but still a good movie, and still I would suggest watching it for sure. And the fashion in that is really good. Shaheem says, the goth films I know mostly, besides The Crow, are The Crow sequels, Bride of Chucky, Jason Lives, Grave Dancers, The Craft, and Halloween Curse of Michael Myers. Awesome. Awesome suggestions for sure. And Gavin is so right. Yes. Goth, Danielle Harris, and Urban Legend. It took me forever to realize that she was the roommate. I was just like, oh my God, that is Danielle Harris. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Speaking of Danielle Harris, I really need to watch Halloween 5 now. I am up to 1 through 4 for having watched from the Halloween franchise, and then I've seen H2O, and I think that's it. I can't remember if I've seen Resurrection or not. I can't remember. But that's another one. Maybe I'll do a future live watch of that. Ooh, yes, Dee. I would think so. I think Ginger Snaps is a little goth. That's a really great suggestion as well. Oh no, screen fun. Watch the sadness and trauma. I truly don't know if I can watch that one because I've heard, not because of the brutality of the gore and stuff, which I have heard is really intense, but I've heard that there's some sexual things in it, and I just don't know. I just don't know. I wish I knew more about it, like would know more of what to expect, but I just have that vague understanding of what happens, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know about it. Shaheem agrees. Ginger Snaps is gothic, and Jennifer's Body at times, yeah, I can see that. And the goth girl who can dance in Friday the 13th Part 5. Or would she be alts? I don't know. Yeah, that's a good, all these different like subsections of alt, goth, punk, they can kind of like fade in and out of each other, I think. But Tom says goth Danielle Harris, hard eyes. Yeah, she's kind of mean in that movie in Urban Legends, but then she gets killed, so I don't know. But she's kind of mean to her roommate. A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night definitely looks goth too. Yeah, that's true. She's got her skateboard and her like heavy eye makeup. I was kind of blown away when I just watched The Rental for the first time recently, and if anyone who's seen that movie, it's like two couples basically at this rental house, and one of the girls, I was like, oh my God, she looks so familiar. What do I know her from? And it was Sheila Vand from A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, totally. I love seeing her in a movie that's so different from A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, because that's the only other film I've seen her in, I think. But she did an incredible job in that movie, so I was like, I need to see her in more stuff for sure. Screen Fun says, I'd say that the essay thing and the sadness are minimal. Okay. Aside from a few quick shots, it's more suggestive than anything else, but it's still very insane. Okay. Good to know. Yeah, I think it's like if you're going to have to include something like that, make it as minimal as possible, or use things to be more of a suggestion than actually showing stuff. But yeah. Yeah, true, Gavin. Old Dracula movies are pretty goth. I agree. Anything where you've got that black and white kind of style. I would say Nosferatu. Yeah. Although I've watched Nosferatu, I think at least twice, and it's just kind of boring to me. I know it's from the 20s. I know it's retro horror. It's like the OG, but I can't really get into it that much. I really have to see the I don't know if you would call it a remake, the one from Werner Herzog. Uh, I forget the full title, but it's Nosferatu, remake basically. Um, so I need to watch that for sure. And there's some interesting things about the guy who played Nosferatu. Like I have heard that they can't find any pictures of him not in the makeup. Like he's a very elusive person. So I'd like to know more about that too. I just find that very interesting. Shahim says we need gothic horror subgenre supremacy. I feel like it's not appreciated enough. It's the way I feel about metal soundtracks and horror movies today. That's when horror films were at the prime. Yeah, it's so funny because I feel like early 2000s were prime time for the new metal soundtrack, and it's so emblematic. And you can just tell the era. I mean, besides the look of the film, because that's usually a dead giveaway too, and the dialogue a lot of the times. But once that new metal soundtrack kicks in, then you know it is an early 2000s horror movie. So I'd like to see more movies nowadays with new metal. I think that'd be fun. But uh, yeah, Black Sunday has a goth vibe too. I agree. The Barbara Steele character, I can never remember her name, but like the witch, basically, she's pretty gothy for sure. Yes, Gavin, I think they are. I think it's Robert Eggers is taking on that project, and I don't know how far into it they are, but I do love that he's the one doing it because I think he could do a really good job with it. Northman is one that I haven't seen yet either. I'm kind of mad because I was trying to drag my husband to it. I was like, it's Vikings, it's history. I think you'd kind of like this one. He's like kind of into horror, and I know that the Northman isn't really horror, it's more of like historical action, adventure kind of movie. So I was like, I think you would really like this, but we just never ended up going. And I don't think it's in any theaters around me anymore, which I'm really sad about because I wanted to see it on a big screen. But oh yeah, yeah. Of course, Tim Burton movies, goth as fuck for sure. Edward Scissorhands. I know that's not super horror, but we've got some horror elements in it, definitely. And Sweeney Todd. We've got a goth Johnny Depp. Love to see it. The Queen of Goth would be Christina Ricci. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Burton movies, for sure. Wednesday Addams, of course. Tom says Shadow of the Vampire. Thank you. That's what the Nosferatu remake is. The one that we already have, not the new one, the Robert Eggers one. It's a movie about that very topic regarding the actor. Okay, so that's okay, good. I guess I just assumed it was just Nosferatu going around doing his thing like he is in the first one, but I like that we get that kind of backstory. Yeah, thank you, Tom. Shadow of the Vampire. Shahim says Underworld and Blade franchises. Yeah, they're gothic vibes for sure. With is it Kate Beckinsale in that like black onesie kind of outfit? Those are ones that I never really got into, and I still haven't seen Blade either. Anything that's kind of based on either comics or video games, those are ones that it's not that I avoid them. I guess because I'm not into the original property, that I don't tend to gravitate towards those kinds of movies. I mean, I'm sure you could just watch them and they've got all the information you need in there, and you don't have to have played the game or read the book or whatever. But yeah, for some reason, I've kind of stayed away from those. But I should check them out, especially Blade. I've heard Blade's really cool. Gavin says, I hope Rob Zombie's Monsters is gothic. Is it going to be in black and white? I wasn't sure if I think the promo pictures were, and I would assume they would be since the series was in black and white, which would be interesting to see a Rob Zombie black and white movie. And it's going to be PG too, right? I'm pretty sure, which is also something that's not typical for Rob Zombie. So very intrigued about the Monsters remake. Kano says, Nosferatu is still really creepy to this day. I think maybe I should give it one more try, but I think that I prefer Cabinet of Dr. Caligari to Nosferatu. What that's actually probably another good kind of gothy movie because the main guy Cesare I forget how to say his name, but the sleepwalker, he looks really gothic because he's really pale, he's got the dark hair and like the black makeup around his eyes. Yeah, that's such a good, it's probably my favorite, pre-40s horror, maybe well, pre-30s. I was gonna say, I was like, I really like Frankenstein too, but, um, yes, Kate Beckinsale is iconic, and that black latex is everything, yeah. I mean, she's, like, one of the biggest female action stars, I would say. She always kicks ass in movies. I love her in, what is not a good movie based on Universal monsters, but the Van Helsing movie from like 2004. That one is really, it's really bad, but it's really fun. I love to rewatch that and just kind of make fun of it, but also just have a blast watching it because it's so there's just so much happening in it. But Boomer says I had to step out for a second. Did somebody mention The Crow? Yep, we did. It's probably been mentioned like 17 times. Oh, you're good. Yes, that was our main suggestion for like gothic movies to watch for today. Um, and Tom says Nosferatu the Vampire is the Herzog remake. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I was totally conflating those two things. And then Shadow of the Vampire is about the making of Nosferatu. Got it. Hopefully that's not too confusing. No, 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 you're good. Thank you for correcting me because okay, so I'll have to watch both of those then. Gavin says, I really want it to be in black and white. It wouldn't feel right if it wasn't. I agree. And it seems like from the promo images that it will be. We'll cross our fingers on that one. And Dee says, I really like Dr. Caligari too. Not as creepy or goth, but you can totally see the influence it had on Tim Burton. Yeah. All of that German expressionist, like the odd angles of things and just the way that the set is dressed and designed is and obviously like the character, the main character, just the look of him, he looks so much like a lot of Tim Burton's characters. Especially the guy from, I know he's not real, like a real person, but from Corpse Bride, looks a lot like him. Gano says there's just something about the super low quality black and white silentness of that makes it so mysterious and weird. Yeah, I agree. There's a really funny, for those who watch Portlandia, you'll know what I'm talking about, but there's a really funny skit where um, Fred is playing like a mailman and he keeps trying to get this lady who is played by Carrie to watch The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. And he's like, you have to watch this. You have to watch this. Like, it's cinema history. You can't call yourself a film lover if you don't watch The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. And she keeps putting it off and putting it off. And yeah, I won't spoil the ending because it's really funny, but check out, you could just Google like Portlandia Cabinet of Dr. Caligari skit and you can find it. It's really funny. Gavin says Lily Munster is a goth queen. Just got a shirt with her on it. Awesome. That's great. She totally is. She's one of those you always see the images of like, the old school horror icons like that are women, and it's always her, Vampira, Elvira, and oh my god, why can't I think of Morticia? I was like, I know there's another one I'm missing, but Screen Fun says, I've been disappointed with Rob Zombie movies since The Devil's Rejects. I love that movie so much. I had bigger hopes for his career. He is just such a polarizing person. And I will say I'm not a huge fan of his style of filmmaking, but I totally I respect him as a filmmaker because he has such a strong vision and he's so knowledgeable about the horror genre that he's putting so much into his films, like all of these references and stuff. And I mean, I would say I like him more as a musician than a filmmaker, just personal taste on my part for that. But I'm so mad because I almost saw him live oh gosh, years and years ago. He was playing somewhere near me and I just didn't end up going, and I really regret not going because I feel like going to one of his shows would be so fun. Tom says I saw Van Helsing in theater. Did it for Kate. Yeah. Honestly, she is one of the highlights of that movie, although not her accent. Her accent is not great. But as far as her going around and kicking ass, yeah, she's awesome. And of course, I love Hugh Jackman. Like he's a great actor, obviously. It's just the roles that they were given, they did the best they could with them. I'll say that. Shaheem says, I know no one really cares about this, but Michael Jackson's Ghost 30-minute short film music video is probably my favorite gothic horror film besides The Crow. Oh, okay. It's not only short, but it's iconic. Oh, I'll have to check that out. I've never heard of that. That sounds really interesting though. D loves Portlandia. Awesome. Same. Darcy the Mail Girl is the new horror host icon. Yeah, definitely. And she's got like, the long black hair thing going on. Shaheem says, how are we all forgetting about Jennifer Tilly being the ultimate gothic Victorian queen of them all? Her and Bride of Chucky did it for me. I love Jennifer Tilly. She's awesome. If you guys haven't seen Bound, she's mildly gothic in that. I guess, I mean, she wears like dark clothing and she has dark hair. But it's such a good movie. Tom says, don't forget The Cure. Yes. Cure Girl, sorry, in Wet Hot Summer, American Summer. Love her, even though a lot of her scenes got cut out. I haven't seen that either. But I love that does she love The Cure? Is that why she's called The Cure Girl? She like wear the Cure shirts and everything. Yeah, I haven't seen that one, but I can't really think of any other sort of gothic. I'm sure there are plenty. I just can't think of any right now. But yeah, for those who missed, I have my sign up here. I need to caption it with something. I obviously want it to be kind of horror related, but I was thinking about doing it. Originally had Randy's rules from the first Scream, and I thought about putting up rules for sequels, but I think they're too long. And it would just kind of make less sense to have that one on there. So if you can think of any other like horror quotes, either from movies or from directors, but something that's like specifically about horror movies, preferably. Because for a while I had, it was a quote from Wes Craven that said, horror films don't create fear, they release it. So something along those lines I think would be good. But Gavin says, if you guys want a good Cure song to listen to after the stream to get a little gothy, listen to At Night. Ooh, okay, cool. Everything I've heard from The Cure I've really liked, but I haven't really dug into their discography. So I really like Pictures of You and Just Like Heaven. Obviously, that's like one of their biggest hits, but yeah, I really like them, just from what I've heard. Screen Fun says Bound is so good. Probably my favorite Jennifer Tilly movie. Yeah, she kills it. It's like one of the best neo-noir movies I've ever seen, and Gina Gershon is amazing in it. And gosh, it's just like, first of all, we have the representation of a queer couple, and they just kick these men's asses. They're so awesome. Yeah, definitely check out Bound if you haven't seen it. Mika says, Angela, Night of the Demons. Yes, Goth Queen. She does her little spooky ooky dance. Dee said, so not ingredients to snack foods. You know what? You're the only one who's given me a suggestion so far, Dee, so it might have to be that. Tom says her name, that's her name, and she wears Cure stuff. What we do at the barbecue if we're vegan. Is that a reference to Wet Hot American Summer? I'm not sure what that is. Oh my gosh, yes, Shaheen, thank you. Of course, Stokely from The Faculty. That is a great call. Definitely another underrated emo / punk goth girl. Had a serious crush on her as a kid. That's yes, and Gavin agrees. It's a great call. Yeah, I feel like oh my gosh, I can't remember that actress's name right now. Holy crap. Someone please tell me who plays Stokely. I'm having a brain fart. She is kind of like the quintessential goth character in like almost every movie she's in. Oh my god, why can't I think of her name? This is blowing my mind right now. Hey Justin, what's up? Just interested to see someone mention Night of the Demons. It's a fire stream already. Yes. We were talking about, Justin, the fact that it is National Goth Day. So we're trying to think of horror movies that have goth characters, or or just kind of gothy in general. Um, and I just can't think of Clea Duvall. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Shaheem. That was driving me crazy. I could not think of her name. The person whoever stars in Men looks so much like her to me that I thought it was her when I first saw the trailer. And I was like, that's not Clea Duvall? What? Okay. And I don't remember that actress's name either, but um Tom says the camp had a barbecue, but she can't eat anything. Oh, of course, because she's vegan. That was the life of a Cure goth girl in the 80s. Yeah. And they were all, for some reason, it was like the stereotype. If like you're goth and you're also vegan, which I don't know why those two things were like combined in movies. Just is something where it's like being vegan was considered weird back then. So it's like, oh, they're a weird goth person and they're also vegan. Like, okay, sure. Thank you, Screen Fun, Clea Duvall in the faculty. Yes, to be precise, she is a goth queen in that. Oh, okay. Justin says Blair Witch 2 is a good gothy horror movie. Nice. I haven't seen that one. Gavin says, I didn't think mentioning goth day would turn such a big topic of discussion. I love it. Yes. And he agrees with Justin on that. That's another one I haven't seen, but I do have the VHS tape of it. Because that's Book of Shadows, right? Yeah, I haven't seen that one, but I've heard it's not very good. Hey, Books, you want to say hi? Pookie's, you want to say hello? Oh, yeah. She's going to get my shirt all hair. You want to sit down? Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry. Did not get much of Puka today. It is not time to eat yet. You have plenty of time. Boomer says, I was looking online and found one I love. Hex Girls from Scooby-Doo. Absolutely. They are a trio of goth vegan queens. Vegan or vegetarian. I think they're vegan. So that's another example of that. That's so funny. Yeah, I also definitely wanted to be a hex girl when I was young. Ben says Danielle Harris was the goth roommate. Yep, we talked about her. She is a really good example. Yeah, like I said, I had no idea that was Danielle Harris when I first saw it. Tom says my brother used to work at a Blockbuster, and the woman who played the goth girl in Blair Witch 2 would rent stuff. No way. That's awesome. I'm so jealous of people who worked in video stores because there was like one summer where I think I either applied or I like filled out the application but didn't drop it off for family video. And that was like towards the end. It was the start of the real fall and decline of video stores. Because I think that I'm sure that store's closed by now, the one that I applied to. But so I never ever got to work in a video store. I'm kind of sad about that. Gavin says, hi, poo poo. Bye, poo poo. Yep. She was just like, I'm not about this today. D asked, do I like sparkling water? If so, favorite flavors. I do. Yes, I drink probably too much LaCroix, honestly. But I really like their cherry lime flavor. That one's really good. Limoncello, also good. Key lime. We just bought this cherry blossom. I think it's new. I had never seen it before, but that one's pretty good. And then I was kind of surprised that there's one that's like coffee and vanilla or something like that. And I got it just to see. I was like, I'm probably not going to like this, but I was like, this is actually really good. So I would get that more if I came across it more, but I usually shop at Aldi, and sometimes they'll have special flavors in stock. Other times they won't. So I just kind of have to wait and see. But and Dee says poo poo. They're referring to my dog for anyone who doesn't know. They're not just talking about poo poo. That's a nickname for her. Justin says a lesser known Little Witches, a 90s goth girl gem. Okay. That sounds like it's right up my alley, so I'll have to check that out too. Shaheem says Fruza Bulk in The Craft. Also played an emo goth character in Adam Sandler's The Water Boy. Oh my gosh, that was her. That's so funny. I forgot that. Such a weird combination of people for some reason. I'm just like Adam Sandler and Veruza Bulk is so strange in my mind. But I remember liking The Waterboy. It's been a long time since I saw it. Justin says Leverage 2 isn't a good movie, but damn it, if it isn't a silly good time, I'm always down for a movie like that. Sign me up. I will definitely be watching that one. Because that's the thing. I'm like, when you say bad movie, do you mean bad fun or do you mean bad, bad? Because if it's bad, bad, I won't watch it. But if it's bad fun, then I will. Gano says, man, I would love to work at a video store and it's prime days, being surrounded by tons of movies and just chatting about them. I know. Sounds amazing, honestly. And then having, stuff playing on the TVs and everything, and, getting to see the new releases that come out right away. Oh, it'd be so nice. Miki used to work at a video store and a movie theater. That's amazing. I know for some people who were working at both video stores and movie theaters back in the day, or at least at movie theaters, I think I've heard you could take home like posters and stuff, like promotional posters, which would have been amazing. But also, video stores, when they were going out of business, which is obviously unfortunate, but kind of having first dibs on movies that you could take if they're just getting rid of all of their stock. I do regret, I think that there was some sort of like huge sale. One of the video stores where I live, that it was hanging on for so long. Like, I think it made it to 2015. It stayed open, and they obviously had to close their doors, but they had this huge sale on all of their movies and everything in the store. And I only bought a couple of movies, and now I'm like, why the hell didn't I buy more? Like, I should have stocked up on these movies, but for some reason I only bought like a handful, like one or two. Really sad about that. But Shaheen says, Thorn from the Hex Girls, yes. Don't even talk to me about my crush on that character. I even have her sweatshirt. So is she, which one was she? Because was she the main one with the black hair and like the red outfit? Can't remember. Screen Fun says, I miss the video stores, miss the experience of browsing the VHS and chatting with the movie lovers that strolled in there. Yeah, some of the best memories, just going and walking around and looking at the covers and everything. Definitely going with friends and trying to decide what to pick out. I don't know if you guys ever had at your video store, sometimes there would be like one of those big gumball machines, and there would be like a color of the week. So if you got a gumball and it was the color that matched the color of the week, you could get a free movie or something like that. So I used to do that, which is really funny because sometimes, a gumball is like a quarter. And so if you want to try multiple times to get the right color, then you just end up spending more than the actual rental would have been, because sometimes it's just $1, but I just wonder if anyone else had that at their video store. Tom worked at a cool video store, and your brother would get off at Blockbuster and come over and use up your free rentals. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I love that you were at like a local video store and he was at Blockbuster. It's kind of like a house divided type of thing. That's so funny. Aldi is nice. I drink too much LaCroix as well. Yeah, I know. I heard that there are probably like carcinogens in it, and I'm like, I should probably stop drinking this, but at the same time, I'm low-key addicted to it. So yeah. Gavin says, Mama says Vicky Valancourt is the devil. Oh, is that a quote from yeah, it's a quote from Waterboy. But I can't say it in the accent that he has, because I can't even begin to try to do that. Speaking of Adam Sandler, did anybody watch Hubie Halloween? I remember starting off and never finished it. I didn't see it. I kind of heard mixed reviews on that one too. Some people liked it and some people thought it was not good. But Raven from the original Cartoon Network series Teen Titans, yeah, she's definitely a goth girl icon for sure. She was both hilarious and unintentionally and such a mood. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so Ben liked Hubie, full of Halloween vibes. Gavin's stepbrother used to work at a movie theater and snuck in to see Scream 4. Oh, you snuck in. You were too young to see it at the time. That's amazing. Your stepbrother sounds awesome. Dee says, I worked at a small movie theater. We had free dibs on snacks and drinks, which was awesome, and got posters too. They never really showed horror movies. Oh, bummer. But at the time, I didn't like horror or movies. Oh, okay. That's funny that you worked at a movie theater, but that does sound like a pretty sweet gig where you can have snacks and drinks because movie theater snacks are the best. I eat way too much popcorn for sure. Shaheem says she was the leader. Okay, okay, Thorn was the leader. For some reason, I don't even know what I thought her name was, but um, Gavin says your video stored to that with the gumballs. That's so funny. I love it. It's kind of a good marketing ploy. And, I think a lot of those gumballs were past their prime. I think they were kind of just trying to get rid of the gumballs. But Ben says I was a big fan of the Mystery Incorporated show. They had an episode where Daphne joined the Hex Girls, where they gave her a goth makeover. What? That's incredible. That must be, is that a Scooby-Doo that's a little bit later, or I guess newer? Because I don't think I've seen that, but that sounds amazing. Um, oh, thanks, Justin. You're walking to the theater. Oh, okay. Yeah, have fun. I know Gaspar Noé is kind of wild, so I am interested to hear your thoughts on it. But have a good day. Tom says, I've actually seen the Victoria Justice Halloween movie, and I kind of liked it, although I never saw her show. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It was like Fun Size or something like that. I don't think I ever saw it either, but I did watch some of Victorious. I was a little on the old side. I think I definitely did not stick through the whole series. But I have younger sisters, so they would have it on the TV too. But yeah, totally, Gavin. They were so stale. I don't know why I still continued to eat some of them. I think it depended on what it looked like. If it looked like it was maybe okay, I would eat it. But other times I'd just be like, here's the right color. Okay, I'm going to throw it away now. Shane says, Gwen from Total Drama Island, another fantastic emo goth character from Cartoon Network. They have a lot, don't they? Dee asked, did anyone watch the Muppets Haunted Mansion special? I have not seen it. I have scrolled past it on Disney Plus, but I haven't watched it. What's really fun in a bad way is the live action Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy. That one is pretty bad. But it's a good time. It's a fun time for sure. That's one that I did watch as a kid, and when I was a kid, I thought it was good, and then on the rewatch, I was like, ooh, this is pretty bad. Hey, Willmeister. Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated is probably the darkest Scooby-Doo show ever produced. I mean, impalements. Velma had a girlfriend? Is that what you mean? Stuff like that. It's somewhat recent. Oh, okay. I have not seen any of those then. Yeah, they're still going strong with Scooby-Doo. That's one property that's really held on ever since it came out. I feel like they've constantly had new iterations of it. And what was it, the 60s when it was first aired? Is that right? Yeah, and of course we have the amazing live action movies, which are some of my favorites from, a kid. I mean, I do like one better than two for sure, but they're both really fun. And gosh, such an all-star cast for a live action Scooby-Doo movie. Just amazing. And Dee says, isn't it funny how something as simple as a gumball machine was such a big deal as a kid, running around the lobby, and now we just walk by them, get tickets and snacks, and go into the theater. Yeah. I was obsessed with, any kind of candy machine like that, but especially the ones, I'm sure they're still around in like grocery stores and stuff, but the ones that you got like stickers or the temporary tattoos from, where you just put the quarters in and you get a random sticker, and you'd be so bummed if you got one that you didn't want. You're like, oh, I wanted this one, but of course it's random. You might not get the one you wanted. I used to do that all the time. Guna says, I remember What's New Scooby-Doo. Remember loving the theme song. Yeah, I used to love A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. That was one when I was young that I would watch a lot. And I would watch the original sometimes too, but Shaheem says Jade West from Victorious. That's another good one. Yeah. Liz Gillies gave many female fans of her character pure bi panic. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was just a little past my time where I saw a few episodes, but I was a little too old for it. But I ended up babysitting a girl who, when I was in college, I babysat a girl who was obsessed with it. Like, she was hardcore into that show. So I saw even more of it when I babysat her. But Screen Fence has got to go. Have a great evening. Thanks, you too. Thanks so much for joining. We have a good rest of your Sunday. Gavin says, me and my brother would just peg them gumballs, gumballs at each other. Oh, like throw the gumballs. It would definitely hurt depending on where you got hit and how hard it was thrown. Ben says, I loved Pup. Great theme song, always blaming Red Herring. Yeah, so funny. Such a clever thing to have a character named Red Herring in that show who always gets blamed for things and he's never actually the culprit. It's genius writing for sure. Sean says, we can all agree Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island hits different. Yeah, that movie it really holds up. It's honestly really scary. There are some parts where you're like, damn, this is really intense for a kid's movie. But I think it's really held up over the years. That, and I loved Witch's Ghost as a kid too. That one was great. And it doesn't hurt that Tim Curry voices one of the characters in that too. So yeah, those two are probably my favorites non-live action Scooby-Doo movies. Although we did watch the Cyber, what was it called? Cyber Chase or something like that. We had that one on VHS as kids too. Dee just looked up new movies coming to your theater. Oh, the new Bob's Burgers movie, nice. You'll go see it. Didn't watch a ton of the show, but watch any adult animation shows like that. I guess I should watch the whole series too, but won't before. Yeah, that's one that I have not seen the whole series, but I have loved all the episodes I've seen. I've seen a couple seasons of Bob's Burgers, and I really, really like it. So I'm sure the movie would be super fun too. Will Meister says the late wrestler Daphne is responsible for many a goth girl fantasy. That's another kind of area that I'm not super familiar with is wrestling. So wrestling, comic books, video games. Those are all things that I don't know a lot about, but oh, sorry. Shaheem says, I think Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island is the closest to being a gothic horror movie in itself. It's also, in my opinion, the scariest Scooby-Doo film of all time. And Terror Time Again song is iconic. Yeah, I love that song. That's definitely a bop. And yeah, I would say it's one of the scarier, just kids movies in general. But yeah, as far as the Scooby-Doo movies go, definitely I would say the scariest of the ones that I've seen. Will Meister says Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island is my favorite Scooby-Doo movie. Haven't seen the sequel. Is it good? Is that would the sequel be considered The Witch's Ghost? Maybe. I'm not sure. Okay, yes, thank you, Shaheem. Cyber Chase. Yes, that one was good too. Ben says Zombie Island sequel was trash though. So there was actually a sequel to Zombie Island. Okay. I haven't seen that one. Sounds, yeah, I guess it doesn't sound good, but Shaheem says Cyber Chase with Scooby-Doo gang clones. That's right, there were clones of them in that movie. I forgot about that. It was your second favorite Scooby-Doo animated film. Cool, that's awesome. Yeah, that one's one I didn't watch as much, but I remember liking it. But you saying that kind of like unlocked the memory of them having their doppelgangers in that. Ben says Scooby-Doo they did with Kiss was awesome. Very psychedelic. Oh man, was that a movie or was that just like an episode where they had Kiss on? Because there were all those episodes where you just had random like celebrities or, obviously the episode with the Harlem Globetrotters. And then I remember Don Knotts was in one. I don't know if he was playing himself. I think he was playing himself. Yeah, they had a couple episodes like that where you're just like, oh, here's this random celebrity. D asks, anyone remember the Cyber Chase show on PBS? Yes, about learning math. I used to watch that one for sure. That was a fun one. I was kind of a PBS kid. Ben says it was a movie, kind of newer. Oh, okay. No, I didn't see that one. But Kiss, they've got their hand in everything. They are just marketing geniuses. So like, why not? Let's be in a Scooby-Doo movie. Will Meister said that's an interesting banner. Even more so someone being this big a fan of the Sun. They're not exactly reputable, right? Do you though? I don't judge. Um, Even more so being a big fan of the Sun. Yeah, I guess it's just kind of like a tarot card kind of I got it because I did a series called Sunlit Horror for the Anatomy of a Scream channel. So I wanted to have a something to go along with that theme. So I just bought this banner for that. And I've kept it just to have it fill some space because that's usually where my door is, and that doesn't make for a very interesting background. So I just hung it over my door to kind of block it. But so I've just kind of kept it up. I should probably change it out for something that's a little more horror-y, but Gano asks, speaking of Goth, I almost forgot 11 got a Goth makeover in Stranger Things season 2. Good call. Yeah. I totally forgot about that too. So we can add her to the list. Sure. Yeah. Um, yeah, Gavin, I would agree. Pinhead is also kind of Goth in a way. Totally. I totally agree. Uh, Shaheem says, Anna in the chat, has anyone seen the Scooby-Doo and the Courage the Cowardly Dog crossover film? No. Oh, it came out last year. What? I've never heard of that. It's kind of perfect though. It makes perfect sense to have those two. And they're two dogs that are, encounter spooky things. So totally makes sense. And they're both pretty cowardly, actually. Scooby can be kind of cowardly. Dee was a PBS and Fox kid, didn't have cable, hence why I love The Simpsons. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't have like Disney Channel for a really long time. But we eventually got that, and we had, Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network and PBS and all that kind of stuff. So um, Ben says, speaking of Goth, they had a new Halloween-based Scooby movie featuring Elvira and the Scarecrow from the Batman movies. Oh, okay. Wow, that's an interesting combination. They were in the same one, huh? Will Meister said Don Knotts played himself. Okay. But I feel like it was also a nod to his Barney Fife character. Yeah, I kind of figured because I think he was a policeman or something to that effect in Scooby-Doo. So, and you haven't seen Scooby-Doo Courage crossover, but did watch the crossover special from years ago. Oh, so they've done multiple crossovers between Scooby-Doo and Courage the Cowardly Dog. What? How have I never heard of this? That's so interesting because I would watch some Courage. Yeah, it wasn't my favorite show, but I would definitely watch it. Um, Ben says it also had Bill Nye. What? I completely missed these, and I would have really liked that because I loved Bill Nye. Definitely one of my favorite educational shows as a kid. Gino says, what if they made a live action Scooby-Doo movie, but it was super serious and realistic, like a Dark Knight take on Scooby-Doo, and they had a real Great Dane play Scooby, where it's like a live action dog. I would prefer if they did that to not do like the CGI mouth moving and just have it be like his thoughts can be heard. But yeah, I would watch that for sure. Shaheem says, I've been saying for years, and Scooby-Doo and Courage should team up together one day because it's such a no-brainer. Yeah. My excitement for that film was the same excitement for Freddy versus Jason. Yeah, anytime you can have a crossover like that where it's two things that you really like when I was younger watching Nickelodeon, I freaked out when they did the Jimmy Neutron Fairly Odd Parents crossover. That was one of my favorites of those kinds of films. Moments to Memories. Hi. I want to say keep up the great work. I found your channel last night and I really enjoy your content. Thank you. Thank you so much. Aw. Welcome. So glad to have you here. Yeah, I said to everyone earlier in the chat that I got a new job, so I'm gonna have to be paring back a little bit on my YouTube stuff. I'm hopefully still gonna have at least one video a week out. But so please forgive me for not keeping up with the content like I have been, which is why it's taking me a little longer to get out my new video, but that will hopefully be posted tomorrow. I'm really going to cross my fingers and try to get it out. But so keep an eye out for that. Gavin says, I feel like the new Crow remake won't have the same goth vibes, and the thought saddens me. It would be really surprising for them not to, just because it's such a strong element in the original that they would have to the way they'd have to carry it off would be really specific to not have those kinds of overtones because it's so synonymous with like the movie and the character. So yeah, that would be really weird. I would hope they wouldn't do that, but we'll see. Snipechat asked, "Do I like The Babysitter?" I like one, but the second was trash. I enjoyed both. I really, really liked both of them. I would say I probably like the first one slightly more than the second, but again, I think they're both super fun. Maybe some of my favorite horror comedy films. They would definitely make my top 10 list for sure. Um, but yeah, the second one just goes even more over the top with it. And yeah, I mean, I liked both of them. So Ben asked or says, there's a horror movie called Saturday Morning Mystery that basically mimics Scooby Doo. Oh, and even has a group with a Great Dane. Okay. I've never heard of that before. That's pretty cool. I like that. Adding that to my list of things to check out. D says, OMG, the Jimmy Neutron Fairly Odd Parents. I would sit at the TV and watch the marathons all day. Yeah. Weren't there, oh, three. Um, I want to say I either only saw the first one, maybe the second one, but I didn't know that there was a third. But it would make sense if it was popular for them to do it again. Uh, yes, the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour. Thank you. Okay, so it was a trilogy. Thank you, Shaheem. Yeah, I forgot it was called that. What a great title. Oh my gosh. Uh, Will Meister says there was a darker live action Scooby Doo series on YouTube with a real. Oh, okay. Seems to be the same thing that Ben was talking about, maybe. Oh, okay. It's just called Mystery Incorporated. Uh, Gavin says the time period for The Crow is just perfect. Even the soundtrack was phenomenal. I feel like it's going to be a lot softer and brighter. Yeah, they could go that way. It seems like the new Batman was kind of trying to be a little Crow-like, a little bit. So if they could do it with Batman, they should definitely be able to do it with The Crow. Uh, Ben says Danny Phantom was a great spookiest show. Yeah, I really liked Danny Phantom. And yeah, Sam was definitely goth. That was another really fun one too. Also a really great theme song. Um, D says, I remember seeing Jimmy Neutron movie in theaters before it was a show. Yeah. I don't think I saw it in theaters, but we definitely had the VHS tape and we definitely watched it before the show. And I feel like I'm sure the animation doesn't hold up super well, but just the humor was really good. Um, Shaheem says when iCarly and Victorious crossed over for an hour-long special called "I Party with Victorious" was my youth of meltdown excitements for crossovers. Carly and Tori together was a no-brainer too. Yeah, it kind of just makes sense for if you have a network and you own all these properties and they're popular with the same groups of people. Like, why not just put them together and have them in one movie or one show? It makes sense. The Woolmeister says the movie Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, Scooby and company have a cameo. Oh, okay. Scooby is a real Great Dane there too. I didn't realize that Scooby made so many appearances as a live action Great Dane. That's so funny. Um, See, this is why I really love these lives because I learned so many new things, like things I just either never would have heard of or come across without you guys letting me know. So yeah, I love it. Gavin asks, is anyone excited for the new Panos Cosmatos next movie with A24? What is that about, Gavin? I haven't heard. I have only seen Mandy, and I think he's only done one other movie, right? Beyond the Black Rainbow. I haven't seen that one, but from what I remember, so I watched Mandy on a live watch along when I was doing them way back when on Instagram. So I was a little split. My attention was kind of diverted, and I really just need to rewatch it again, just a pure watch and really be able to pay attention to it. But I mean, I know the visuals in that are absolutely stunning, and I've heard the same about Beyond the Black Rainbow, but I would like to at least watch Beyond the Black Rainbow before I watch his next film. But yeah, I mean, he seems like a really solid filmmaker with a really strong vision. Will Meister says the best part on the iCarly Victorious crossover was the return of Kenan Thompson. Also, it was the first time I heard Ariana Grande sing. That's so funny that Kenan Thompson was in there because, you know, he's a Nickelodeon alum. He was in All That. Or was he in All That? Or was he just on Kenan and Kel? Um, Either way, so fun, so funny. I love Kenan on SNL too. Um, Tom says he's a big fan of his first two. Okay, nice. Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, just the visuals and the colors, and it seems like, from what I've heard about Beyond the Black Rainbow, um, you know, plus having seen Mandy, it seems like there's a lot of like trippy imagery, kind of psychedelic. So I'm interested to see if the new one would have that as well. I'm assuming so. But Shaheem asks, does anyone remember the Disney Channel crossovers like That's So Sweet Life of Hannah Montana? Yeah, I do remember that. Wizards on Deck with Hannah Montana. And yeah, they really went all out on Disney too. They were like, that seems like a good idea. Let's do it. um, Gavin loves both of them too, both of Panos's films. I can't remember the synopsis of the new one, but I can send you something about it on Instagram. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'd love to see it. I believe it's called Necrocosm. Ooh, sounds a little spooky, a little scary. I'm into it. Okay, he was in all that. Thank you, Shaheem. Okay, and Woolmeister, thank you. He technically still is a bigger part of the current iteration. Yeah, I mean, SNL is basically like all that. Well, I guess I should say all that is basically SNL for kids. I was gonna say it the other way around, but um, Ben says big fan of Keenan since all that. Yeah, saddest show got canceled. Was he supposed to have his own show, or are you talking about Keenan and Kel? Because that would be really sad. Oh, I love Keenan. Got to do some chores before work. Oh, thanks for stopping by though, Dee. So nice to have you here as always. Hope work goes smoothly. Um, Gavin says actually watched Mandy on acid. Oh my god, that sounds scary. That sounds like it would be. I don't know. I don't even know. It would be hard to take in all of that visual information while on acid. But and Will Meister says, but who remembers the Simpsons X-Files crossover called The Simpsons Files and the X-Files Cops? What? An X-Files Cops crossover? You guys are blowing my mind with these. I have not heard anything about that at all. Wow. That sounds really interesting though. Ben says Keenan had his own sitcom in NBC. Oh, okay. For the 2 seasons, last 2 seasons, but it was canceled. Oh no, I'm sad about that. I feel like he could definitely have his own like sitcom show and be able to support that, but that's unfortunate. Will Meister says, oh yeah, okay, thank you. The sitcom on NBC. Yeah, that's so sad. Oh. Tom says Mandy already does the acid for you. Yeah, exactly. So you're doubling up on it when you take a substance to enhance the experience. Yeah, that would be probably pretty overwhelming. But well, guys, we are creeping up on 2 hours here, so I think I'm going to start wrapping it up. I did want to ask if anybody has suggestions for future live streams. I am always looking for new ideas. I would still like to do the movie watch-alongs, but I don't know. I'm kind of needing some more ideas for things that aren't that. So if you can think of anything, either comment it in the live chat or in the comments on the replay. I would love to know. Yeah, just let me know. I'm totally open to. I would actually love. This is something I've been kicking around, but I don't know how I'm going to execute it. Having some kind of trivia night or something like that, where I'll ask the questions and you guys answer. But I want to be able to have it where it shows on screen, or have some way for you guys to answer. I got to look into that. But if that sounds interesting, please let me know because I think that would be really fun. But Shaheem says Family Guy and Simpsons also had a mind-blowing crossover where Homer and Peter actually fought the shit out of each other. Oh, you know, I think I've seen maybe clips of that. Or maybe I am thinking of the chicken thing. But it's so funny where it's like the two protagonists of those two shows fighting each other like that. So funny. Thanks, Boomer. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining. Um, yeah, Gavin says, today basically turned into a goth day. So that idea is easy. Yes, we can check that one off. An impromptu goth day. Boomer says trivia would be fun or a horror themed debate show. Ooh, that's interesting. Oh, yeah. Speaking of a debate, I would love to have guests on in the future. I had wanted to get a hang of doing stuff on StreamYard and just really getting used to using it as a platform before I had any guests on. But I would really love to have people on in the future for live streams to talk about stuff. But yeah, I would love to have like Sledgehammer Horror, Movie Watch Daily, Justin, who was in the chat earlier. I would love to have them on, and a bunch of other fellow YouTubers would be really fun. But hey, Prescott, how's it going? Oh, you're good. I'm sorry because I think we're gonna end here soon. Yeah, since we've been going for about 2 hours, but thanks for coming. Shaheem says, I'll do suggestions in the comments. Awesome. Thank you. I'd love to do a trivia night too. The more content, the better. Yeah. Yeah, I would have to see. I would also need to decide whether or not I want to use a pre-made quiz or set of trivia questions, or if I want to make my own. That would be a whole nother thing of getting all the information and coming up with questions and the answers and everything. So that will involve a lot of work, but I'm definitely thinking about it. Wilmar said, actually, you said you're unfamiliar with video games and wrestling. Maybe play some horror video games or watch some horror themed wrestling wrestlers. You'd be surprised how effectively the two mesh. Yeah, I would be interested in. I think my thing with horror video games is I might actually get scared. Like it's a little harder to discern the line between reality when you're just passively watching a movie versus playing a video game, like actively playing and controlling what's happening. So I think I might get a little more freaked out with the horror video games. And I've never actually played one before. So maybe I'll try to do that where I play it before and test it out. So if it's something that's just not for me, I'll know rather than figuring it out on a live stream. But that is a really good suggestion. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Tom says, 80s horror trivia. I will conquer all. Okay, okay. That is a challenge to everybody. And Boomer says, obviously only if you needed someone. Oh, to come on. Yes, yeah. You guested with Ken and Ashley. Oh, awesome. Yes. So I got to figure out once I get a handle on this and I get really comfortable with using this, I will definitely consider having people on. So yes, thank you. Shaheem says we definitely went on multiple subjects. Yeah, for sure. Went from chilled stream to ranting about Firestarter to goth movies, goth girls, Scooby-Doo crossover, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we definitely wove an interesting tapestry of topics for sure. Ben says Chucky has appeared in wrestling multiple times. Really? Okay, I did not know that. And Tom says you're just kidding about conquering all. I guess we'll have to see. I think 80s would be a really good specific topic for the trivia, though. I think that'd be a good era to cover. Shaheem says that would be an amazing idea too, but if it's not for you, much respect. Yeah, for the video game thing. Yeah, we're trying out all the things. I'm not opposed to any idea in particular. Just gotta figure out what works, figure out what doesn't. But yeah. All right, guys. I think that we are going to end it here. But I just want to say thank you for everybody who joined. I really appreciate it. And if you're watching it on the rewatch, thank you so much as well. Yeah, and keep an eye out. I am going to be posting a new video here very, very soon. Either today, maybe, or no, I'm sorry, not today. Either tomorrow or maybe the next day. We'll see. But definitely this coming week, there will be a new episode of my new series, Redemption Rewatch. So I'm very excited for that. So keep an eye out for that. But Gavin says, have a good one. Just like poo poo. Yes, it is time for me to eat. It is almost Puka's dinner time. So thank you so much, Gavin, for joining. Always love having you here in the chat. Happy Goth Day. Yeah, so I'm going to head out here, guys. But thank you so much for joining. You all are awesome. This was a great, just very relaxed kind of stream today. Thanks so much, Tom. Have a good one. Shaheem says, for the Bride of Chucky promotional debut, they had Chucky appear on WWE wrestling match. Oh my god, that's hilarious. I'll have to look that up. That's so funny. Okay. All right, guys. I'm gonna head out. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I will see you next time. Bye. I guess it's still going. I'm trying to end broadcast, but it's not working.